ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Holy.
I'm surprised. I thought it was Leon.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is a real swerve.
What?
Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mando Owada. In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse. No emotions. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry. What is this?
Sorry, brother.
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain it on his behalf. After his brother or rather, after his sibling became trans. Because that was a plot point earlier. Remember?
I don't.
He said that he learned from his brother to swear on his gender.
Oh,
but he
yes,
can,
I do!
But his brother is no more. Because he has a sister now.
Yes, I remember this now.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the circle button to fast forward the text.
You're breaking the fourth wall, Single Bear!
Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Oh, this is voice acted.
Weak.
No more demons.
Yeah. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, they had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, and the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
what?
Specifically despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't really want to talk about it right now. Angsty demon in your neighborhood. I'm just having a tough time.
But
But I also don't want to leave things the way they are. So maybe I can talk about it later. That boy peeked the microphone. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
Demon Beast Cannon. I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. It genuinely is a hate crime. I can't believe it.
No.
Like, you could have, before this line, you could have argued that like, Mondo... I don't know, you know, like, there was an argument to be made, there a shitty one, very flimsy, but still. But no, this is just straight up a hate crime, alright.
Womp womp. And in June, no less, at the time of this recording.
And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me!
Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fellow had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. He did swear on his gender after all. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will give me some courage. The Cowardly Dog. I love that show.
No.
So he went to this Mondo to help him become strong. I don't think I'm saying this, but still.
It's written like Cheerios saying it, but that doesn't make sense for Cheerio to be saying it like that.
Yeah. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
To cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But...
What? How does moving the body keep his secret?
Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... He tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Right, that's Makoto. Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you?
Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
He's also trans.
I know.
Just like my no longer brother.
Yeah. So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone.
You're wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well... not the right voice at all. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Did the gender reassigning surgery himself with his own hands. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Awada. Which is very ironic when considering that he would Daya. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got a motorcycle. A bicycle. It's a bike made of mice. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would try to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. It's slightly Nordic. Can someone like me really be? Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the member of the gang. Which is why
a gang of like 3 people.
Yeah. Which is why
I just...
I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly...
Mario Karted.
Yeah. Taking his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. I'm losing all my Pepto-Bismol.
The Pepto-Bismol!
Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, this is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Good thing Pepto-Bismol flows in our veins, otherwise I would have died already. This is the team. You and me, put together. It's... on my... gender... He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. Oh, I'm seeing some stuttering on your end.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Alright, let me try to refresh it like I did earlier. There we go.
Looks like we're going.
Now it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read this line again because I don't think I used that 1 5-second recording. The team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother. Yeah, Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mando's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong.
And yet...
No, that's you.
Yeah. Mando had been come all along. As soon as their killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear Aoi had no problem shedding light on his secret. Mando killed his own older brother,